He delivered Kaizer Chiefs their first trophy in a decade. He was hailed a hero. But a few months later, Nasreddine Nabi was gone.
Perhaps if Coach Mohammed Nasreddine Nabi of Kaizer Chiefs could maybe go back to Tunisia, since his absence was the reason why Chiefs started so well this campaign. Well, SABC Sport can now establish that Kaizer Chiefs and Coach Nasreddine Nabi will be going their separate ways with immediate effect.
What? You joking?
The official story points to personal reasons and a mutual agreement, but the whispers tell a different story. One of fractured relationship, broken promises, and a shocking license scandal. Was Nasreddine Nabi the victim of management sabotage? In this video, we investigate the stormy relationship that doomed a promising era before it really began. The cracks started forming early. Insiders report that Nabi's vision for the team clashed sharply with the reality of the transfer market. From the moment he joined the club, he spoke candidly about how he wanted to strengthen the squad.
We work hard we work hard with the team. You know, we are Kaizer Chiefs, and Kaizer Chiefs is a big brand in soccer in Africa, so the expectation is too higher. If I have to tell you that I'm happy with my team, I'm not happy yet. I know where I'm going. We probably gonna get where we want to be.
He had a specific plan to rebuild the squad in his image, but reportedly grew increasingly frustrated with the club's inability or unwillingness to secure top talent. This is a classic recipe for coach boardroom fallout. The Nedbank Cup win papered over the structural issues, but it didn't solve them. For a coach with a clear philosophy, lacking control over his own squad is the ultimate sign of distrust. The trophy was a bandage, not a cure, and the wound was festering beneath the surface. Then came the scandal that tipped everything over the edge. Reports emerged that Nabi's UEFA Pro license had expired in 2023. This wasn't a minor administration error. It was a critical failure.
Wow, breaking news of the highest order. Breaking news of the highest order. Kaizer Chiefs have taken a decision to sack coach Nasreddine Nabi. The details should be made clear in a statement released by the club, but as it turns out, it may be due to a breach of contract. The coach not having a valid license to be able to sit on the bench for a CAF Confederation Cup fixture. Because if Kaizer Chiefs go further, that means they would go into the continental competition without their head coach, and therefore this is being seen as a breach of contract. The coach, when he got the job, would have been in a position to, or would have claimed that he's got a valid CAF equivalent qualification to be able to sit on the bench for these competitions when Chiefs do eventually return. And by virtue of winning the Nedbank Cup, Chiefs return to the CAF Confed Cup, and Coach Nabi does not have the papers, the documents to be able to sit on the bench. So the club has decided to sack the
CAF had sent clear warnings to all clubs that they would strictly enforce licensing rules for the upcoming continental season. For a club like Chiefs stature, planning to compete in the CAF Confederations Cup, this was a massive problem. A coach who can sit on the bench in Africa is a major liability. When management confronted him, the issue reportedly became a major point of contention, revealing a deep lack of oversight and communication. But wait, others weighing in on the situation say the whole expiring of the FIFA Pro license is utter garbage.
So that's where we are, smoke screen around the license, which I know for a fact that Coach Nabi has a UEFA Pro license that is valid.
Yeah, I've actually got it in front of me. I can read out the details to you now. I've got the actual license in front of you.
Yeah.
It's a coaching convention. It says Royal Belgian Football Association, yes. UEFA Pro, family name Nabi, name Mohammed Nasreddine, then his date of birth is on there, his license number's on there, and his license is valid until the 31st of December 2026.
Yes.
So his UEFA Pro license is a valid license. I've got it on me, I'm looking at it now.
So the fact that that UEFA Pro license also has a date at which it expires,
which is the last day of 2026.
It means the same with a CAF equivalent, which he would have had prior to obviously coming to Chiefs while he was at Younger, he was at Rabat, yes, for Rabat as well, but it does expire. And the coach, even without the decision being taken to part ways, was not going to be eligible to sit on the bench on Saturday. He was already not on the travelling plans for the club. And, I thought that would be the end of it, a statement to say the coach won't be on the bench on the back of obviously the league game against Sekhukhune, travelling to Angola, but maybe possibly for the second leg he would return on the bench. But due to, obviously, I would imagine the conversations around this and that and the licenses or whatever, it might have been too heated to a point where the coach said, you know what, I don't have your full support. I think it's best that we part ways.
And part of the speculation that seems to do the rounds has to do with his own qualifications. So I have to clear that, because as a seasoned multi-award winning journalist and an editor of our post, I would have expected you to be saying, Nabi, what's going on? Are you not qualified?
That's the most ridiculous thing I've heard today, and I'm like thinking, this man just 3 years ago, he was sitting in a CAF Confederation Cup final for young Africans. I mean, I was actually speaking to Senzo Mbata. I saw you had him not too long ago, and I was just laughing. I'm like, hey, you worked with this man, and I find this so funny that someone would even think that he doesn't have the qualifications. I mean, he does. He holds a UEFA Pro license, which is the highest qualification. I know that for a fact. I mean, I've spoken to people that were with him in class. Adel Ambrushe, a good friend of this show, he constantly makes references. In my class, I had Nasreddine Nabi and Karkashe, who was coaching Township Rollers, and Luke Emael, So they were in the same class. So surely that's definitely not a discussion that anyone should be having. He's got the qualification. And Kaizer Chiefs is a big team, man. There's no way that they would go and fetch a coach and have a coach for over a year who doesn't have the qualifications.
Especially if you're working hard to getting into Africa and CAF competitions as well. You'd surely want to do that with somebody who has the right qualifications. Otherwise, why bother in the first place?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I think the qualifications thing is, it's just not true.
Enter the personal crisis. Apparently, Nabi's wife was involved in a car accident in Tunisia, and his priority rightfully shifted to his family. The compassionate leave, however, created an unexpected twist. With assistants Dylan Shepherd and Khalil Ben Youssef taking temporary charge, the team secured positive results. They went unbeaten in their first 3 league games. The accidental experiment gave the management a new perspective, or perhaps a new option. Suddenly, the coach who had brought them a trophy now looked expendable. His personal tragedy became, in the cold hard calculus of football business, a convenient opportunity for the club to make a change under the guise of mutual respect. The 3-1 loss to Sekhukhune United was the final public humiliation. The team was not happy, so was Nasreddine Nabi himself.
Unfortunately, I would say that we knew that going into this game was going to be a difficult game against a difficult opponent. But I feel that we made a lot of mistakes that led to goals, and Sekhukhune they posed us a lot of problems, especially in transition, especially in the long balls that we couldn't deal with. That led to a lot of mistakes on our side, and as well, I have to say that we were not enough good today, even in our offensive games, in our progression. It's true that we created some opportunities, but it wasn't enough good to control the game or to be in the front.
This was the perfect excuse to accelerate his exit. What was initially a mutual discussion quickly turned into what looked like a termination. The narrative of focusing on family was a dignified exit strategy for all parties, but the timing, right after a bad loss and amid the licensing scandal, tells us the relationship was already broken beyond repair. This was a divorce waiting to happen. The loss was just the signing on the papers. So who sabotaged who. Management failed to back him in the transfer market and may have used the seemingly false license issue as a way out. Last season, Kaizer Chiefs finished 9th in the league. They didn't make it into the top 8. The top brass of Kaizer Chiefs was not happy, and it was reported that if he did not win the Nedbank Cup, he was not going to be the coach this season. For me, Nasreddine Nabi was a dead man walking. And like I said before, he had to take the beat down of Sekhukhune United for Kaizer Chiefs to pull the trigger on his exit. If they didn't want him there in the first place, why didn't they just let him go at the end of last season? Anyway, that's just my opinion. Tell me what you think. Did Kaizer Chiefs make an error by bringing him back this season? Or did he have credit in the bank after winning the Nedbank Cup? Was this sabotage from Kaizer Chiefs, or was this mutual failure? Anyways, Sabotaged with the Zinara SE. Join me on my next video.